You know, chains, we ain't got no funk, man. We ain't got no funk, man. Over here, over there, we spark the air. Words flying fast like we just don't care. Just don't care.
Liam, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you,
This
thank
is the
you.
Portable Podcast. We are apparently in a playground.
Yeah.
I think this is the first. I don't think I've ever seen a podcast in the playground.
Yeah, neither I. It's interesting. I'm excited to be on the podcast. I've never done a podcast before, so it's gonna
Really?
be cool. You know, I've done a lot of different stuff. I've live streamed and stuff like that, but never a podcast.
You live stream games or what?
Producing music, actually. I would make beats and record it. Yeah.
Oh, so you actually you live stream while you're making the beats?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
and
that's cool.
On Twitch and Kick. Yeah.
So what software do you use?
I use Ableton, although I have used Logic, FL Studio, and Pro Tools. Ableton's where I found my footing and where I really gotten in depth with the software. Yeah, you do some producing yourself too, right?
I do. I started in Audacity years ago.
Yeah.
And Audacity is pretty amazing, actually. It's created by music people,
Yeah.
and you can basically adapt it to anything.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was really big about Pro Tools. That's just because, he's a name brand guy.
Yeah, Pro Tools actually sucks. People think it's good because it's like really big in the industry and a lot of like powerful people use it. When you're using it, it feels terrible. That's my experience, at least.
No, seriously. So the big problem in the industry, and you're going to find this as you go, is people they follow name brands because they watch YouTube videos and they tell them to buy this camera and this is blah, blah, blah. Not only that, the brands themselves pay them to do it.
Right.
But with Pro Tools, at least back in the day, because we stopped using it a long time ago, but back in the day, it took a lot of computer power, which Mac didn't have, so it crashed a lot. It had that stupid ass fob, right?
Yeah.
And by the time that the internet really started to pick up, people started copyrighting the loops. So you couldn't even use the loops that came with the software, which you had to pay so much money for anyway. I can't tell you how many times just a drum loop we used in a song and we got copyrighted.
Yeah.
And the way the system is it's all AI, so there's nobody there to actually tell you, to actually prove to that it's actually yours.
Right.
Unless you have actual paperwork. All right, so how long you been making music?
So I've been producing since I was 14 years old. I'm 22 now.
Man.
Yeah, so it's been like a good 8 years just working on this thing. I actually started in film trying to make movies. And then I reflected on a really failed attempt at making a feature film that cost me a good amount of money. And I was like, man, it would be so nice if I could just make art in my room. And I mean, I still want to make features and do the filmmaking thing, but like not until I have the resources to do it,
Well, the thing about filmmaking is that we have two rules.
Yeah.
One, your budget is the budget. What that means is if you got $100, that's your budget. You make the script work for that $100. Right. So usually when you make your first film, you want to make a film that takes place in one location with as few actors as possible. A good example would be, remember COVID? During COVID, there was that movie called COVID, I think,
Yeah.
or Lockdown or something, where the entire movies took place in one apartment.
Yeah.
Those are extremely low budget. Like literally, because you're using the same two actors in the same location, you can shoot almost all the entire movie in 3 days, or at least all the principal footage, right?
Right.
And then the rest of it, you just use B-roll, so it feels bigger. The second rule, when it comes to making feature film on no budget, is use what you have available. Right. So you write your scripts based around something that's not going to cost you any money to use, right?
Right.
When it comes to actors, if if you're not shooting a film that's big budget or whatever, you can pay them whatever. usually what I'll do is back in the day is I would pay $25-$50 for their day, and then if the film made some money, then we would kick them back or whatever. But nothing makes money. Well, until YouTube.
Right.
So I mean, there's always ways to make money on not spend much money. So it's funny you mentioned the film that you wanted to make films, but so when I started doing the podcast, the original idea of it wasn't necessarily a podcast. What I wanted to do is I wanted to every week do table reads. So write scripts every week, and then when the viewers start to pick up, the viewers get to vote on the scripts for that month, and whichever one wins, we make that short.
We get produced,
So not only did the podcast or the table read market the short already, but we already know the audience wants to see it.
Right.
So we're not only getting the views for the podcast because they want to listen to the script for that week to make their vote, but we're also getting the views for the video, right?
Right.
And I don't know how much. Do you have a monetized channel yet?
I no longer have. I don't really use YouTube very much. I'm definitely more of an Instagram, Twitter person at this point. Have you seen the video editing software like that Google put out for AI stuff?
Are you talking about the Nano Banana?
No, View or Flow. It's called Google Flow. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you brought up AI. That's part of the discussion today. So yesterday, I was like, I want to do something cool. So I was looking through your Instagram, and I was trying to get an idea how your mentality is or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wrote this. So I wrote this song.
Yeah.
And then I used AI to create the music for it. So every word in the song I wrote, and that's what I was trying to see if there's a marriage between the two, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what you think here.
Okay.
This one is based off of your Instagram.
Okay. Cool.
And I hid your name in there a couple times. So.
Sounds good.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
I am young, when my eyes are open, I see the world I was promised being taken away from me. My prayers go unanswered, my soul is in pain. What will be left, will my stake be in vain? I am told I will inherit the world, but what does that mean if the world is no more? Who is to blame for this? How do I fix this? Please tell me this is a nightmare, because I want to wake up. I'll go to our American dream.
This is all AI?
The voice is AI and the song's AI, but I wrote the music.
Yeah.
So did you hear? It starts off with the name of your Instagram. So
Yeah.
Young.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's pretty good.
Would you have known that was AI?
Not without the preference. No, definitely not. I don't think it's an amazing song. I think it's pretty good, but for what it is, for an AI song, it's an amazing thing, you know?
With the AI, when you make it, it'll give you two versions.
Right.
So here's another version.
Okay.
Completely different version. And you can remaster and cover songs.
Right. Jesus.
I am young, but my eyes are open. I see the world I was promised being taken away from me. My prayers go unanswered, my soul is in pain.
This one's good.
What will be left, will my stake be in vain? I am told I will inherit the world, but what does that mean if the world is no more? Who is to blame for this? How do I fix this? Please tell me this is a nightmare, because I want to wake up. Welcome to our American dream. Welcome to our American dream. Welcome to our American dream.
Yeah, that's a bop. That's a bop.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's very cool.
So, in this way, it's a functional tool, I think, for making, making prototypes of songs maybe that you wanna try to sell, right?
Right.
So for unknown artists or whatever that want to make songs, but they can create a demo like this quickly and then send it off. Not like back in the old days where you're recording on a tape deck.
Right.
And I noticed that a lot of the recording software is adding AI beat generation.
Yeah.
And they're terrified that musicians are going to be mad at them. So I've seen the ads, and they specifically post that, no, we're not making your song. We're just making the melody for you. But this is not making the song. But the problem with AI is it learned its music abilities from listening to music, right? So especially someone like me that's heard, been in I have the ears for it. a lot of these, every one of these songs is a ripoff from a known song, and they just change it a little bit so that it technically doesn't violate any rules.
Plagiarism or whatever.
So sometimes you'll hear the songs that it makes, and it's like, you know right away what song they stole from.
Right.
And even the lyric style is stolen from some artist, right?
Yeah.
And how they get around for that is you're not allowed to name the artist, but if you name the type of music and the location and all that stuff, you can get pretty close to getting the artist that you want each time. Somebody made one years ago that was Snoop Dogg and Drake, and it went to the top of the Billboard. Nobody knew it was fake, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one I wrote based on your Instagram. And then this one I did for the podcast, our podcast.
Right.
It was originally supposed to be done at Starbucks, so it might be a little bit lyrically incorrect at this point, but see what you think.
Liam and I are shooting a podcast, watching the sun cast, shadows around us, chugging on coffee and spitting out topics so badass, thinking of blast off to the world on platforms and apps. We be hosting, bagels be toasting, like and subscribe and catch our new vibe.
That's fire.
It's good, right?
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah,
I think AI is really, really great at memes, man. Like, of course that was actually good. Like that, felt good to hear. But like the amount of memes that come from AI videos or AI music is just crazy.
Oh yeah, there's entire channels where people are just making the craziest songs that they could, and we tried doing that in the podcast we did a year or so ago, where we were testing it again.
Yeah.
We tried to break it. We were like, make a polka heavy metal reggaeton,
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
this is the second version of that did it for this one.
All right.
Liam and I are shooting a podcast, watching the sun cast shadows around us.
Very Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. Blast off to the world on platforms and apps. We be hosting, bagels be toasting, like and subscribe to catch a new vibe.
It's fire, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
But I will tell you, if you have it choose because I wrote these lyrics, but if you have it choose the lyrics for you, sometimes it gives you some really funky returns.
Yeah.
So as a tool, I think this would be great. So if you can't really explain your song to somebody and you don't have a chance, if you're writing the lyrics or whatever, not every lyric writer is a musician.
Right.
Same thing with me. Like I write lyrics, and sure, I can play instruments, and I was classically trained on instruments, but I'm not as good as the guys on stage.
Right.
So I would write the lyrics, and I would give them an idea, usually by mouthing it, like dum dum dum. And then the musicians would make it work.
Yeah.
But for somebody like me that wanted to write songs, that couldn't afford to go to a studio and pay for the engineer and all that kind of stuff, this would be a great way, I think, to give them an idea of what I want them to make. But I honestly do think that eventually this is going to replace, if not already has replaced, a lot of the producers out there.
Right. Yeah, it's scary. I feel like art and AI-based art is a complicated field because AI, machine learning specifically, is complex replication. It's not exactly creation.
Right.
And I mean the difference between those two things, like where does that line draw? But for the most part, AI just takes inputs and takes its vast fucking history of knowledge, memory, and replicates something.
Well, that's true. And what's crazy is they're using humans to train it. So sadly enough, I'm a beta tester for YouTube, and YouTube has me testing a AI that they're creating that literally is going to tell you what to make. So when you go onto your YouTube, it tells you, it watches all your videos, it looks at all the people who watched your videos, it looks at all the channels they watched before your videos, and then it literally creates your video, your summary, and your script for you, and then you just make the video. So pretty soon, all the content is going to be focused toward their advertisers, where they make the most money.
Yeah.
Right? So that being said, somebody as yourself who's looking to get into the entertainment industry, knowing that most of these jobs that would get you into the entertainment industry, the way I got into the entertainment business, won't exist anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's so scary. So I'm actually at CCRI for computer programming, even though I know that by the time I get a bachelor's, there's probably not going to be very many computer programming jobs out there for me.
Well, unless you switch to like ML or or Python, right?
Right.
Because there's a lot of jobs for those right now, and those jobs aren't going to go away for a while because they still need somebody to update and fix these AI systems.
Yeah, that's going to happen, especially when it becomes physical, like robots and shit, which isn't as far away as people think. Most jobs are going to be irrelevant within the next 20 years. Yeah. And if that's an inevitability, what do we do to adapt, There
are things that robots can't do. Plumbers, electricians, stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those people already are at the point to where there's so few journeymen going into that business that the older ones are coming out of retirement and they can ask for any amount of money they want because they have no competition. And they take the jobs that they want now, right? Honestly, if you think about it, I mean, if you have no foundation for society, it doesn't matter how technologically advanced you get. I mean, don't get me wrong, you have the house printers now, but they don't do the electric, they don't do the plumbing, they don't do, there's still things the robot can't do.
Yeah, humans have to pick up and fucking, yeah. I've been scared because I get so much frequency, like going to the trades. I've always wanted to be an artist, and that's like my dream. But like I still get this like sinking feeling like one day, like my mom always used to say, all I want you to be is happy, and if you were a plumber, that would be great,
Subtle hints.
Yeah.
kind of like that movie Better Off Dead when he graduates and his parents got him a street sweeper.
Yeah. And I mean, I've had huge ambitions in my life and small ambitions in my life, but like it's always the plumber thing is kind of scary to me, not because I don't think that it would be good, just because I don't think it would be as exciting as I want my life to end up.
So I learned really quick that if you don't hold the power and if you don't own the content in this business, then you could be kicked out any second. All they got to do is not be hot enough, not get enough views, not get enough plays or whatever, and your career is over. You're a nobody. Because all they do is they chase the clout.
Right.
But if you own the clout, if you own the studio, nobody can kick you out. And that's what I did. I learned very quick. So the first thing I started doing is I went from music videos, and I, with my own money, which I had no money, I was a college student, I produced my first short, and it got accepted at Sundance. It's kind of like, do you know The Secret? The book The Secret?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was doing The Secret before The Secret was ever written.
Yeah.
Basically, if you focus on something enough, you'll see how to get there, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I live my life. I also believe, the 6 degrees of separation rule?
I don't know that, no.
Okay, 6 degrees separation means that you and anybody in the world are connected through 6 people.
Yeah, I didn't know it was called that, but yes, I know that, yeah.
But in the entertainment industry, because it's so small, it's 3 people.
Oh,
so you call somebody, and with 3 people, you'll get anybody. I don't care who it is. I can Tom Hanks, whatever. I can get them on the phone with 3 people. Okay. Once you realize that, there's nothing you can't do. Yeah. You just have to have something to give them. So I have a rule. It's a very strong rule, and it works for me. I never contact anybody unless I have something they want. Mm-hmm. Don't go to a negotiation if you need more than they need. Right. Once you start rolling and meeting people, you realize how small it is.
Right. I went to a high school where we did feature films at the high school. Yeah. That was the cool part about the school. That's why I wanted to go there. That's why I got into there, because I was a film kid. And I remember during COVID was a terrible year while I was there. It was it was terrible for a lot of people. Some people had a good time. But my COVID was fucking awful. But for the feature film program, we still did it. We just did it with masks and with iPhones, and each individual person had to set up their own shot for their scene and shit. And it was an interesting thing because working with the iPhones, it actually turned out okay. We didn't end up making a feature that year, especially I dropped out midway through that year, like end of the year. That was my junior year. But I they ended up producing it. It was like a really comprehensive short film. It ended up being like 30, 40 minutes long. And I was a part in my freshman year of a feature film that we shot called Deer Stalker, where I was just the cameraman and the boom operator most of that fucking whole summer, or not summer, winter. Yeah.
Oh, the boom operator is the most important person on set. The video could be crap, but if the sound is crap, you lost them.
Exactly.
Because the video is crap, you can make that artistic.
Yeah.
But if the sound is crap, you lost them. So, anyways, cool. All right, thanks a lot, and let's do this again.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate it. Should we exit with your song here?
Sure.
All right, let's.
Liam and I are shooting a podcast, watching the sun cast, shadows around us, chugging on coffee and spitting out topics so badass, thinking of blast off to the world on platforms and apps. We be hosting, bagels be toasting, like and subscribe and catch our new vibe.
Sweetness, right?
Sweet.